We're glad you could join us again on Business Incorporated. Now let's switch over to the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange for today's debt markets analysis, and I'm being joined by the Vice President and Head of Fixed Income Trading at Citibank Nigeria, Nnamdi Nwizu. Good afternoon, Nnamdi, and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, how did the market open today compared to the previous close?
Yields opened lower than we closed yesterday. A bit of buying into the open today, so it seems like a bullish market at the moment.
Okay, what are those securities that we could say are driving the market right now, the sentiment especially?
Well, sentiment seems to be around the middle to the short end of the bond curve. So based on that, we've seen quite a bit of buying on securities like the 2020 and 2022 bond maturities. Basically, also part of it being the bond auction notice that was brought out yesterday, which basically showed that they'll be offering only 20 billion of the 2020 bonds. So I think based on sentiment on where it would close at the auction, we've seen a bit of interest coming to the market for that particular maturity.
Okay, tell us more about this 20 billion naira bond auction to be held. What are those issues that are surrounding this? Because we all know that the domestic markets has been very saturated, especially by the government. So what do we need to know about this?
Well, the DMO typically issues or holds a bond auction every month. So they typically send out the notice for the auction a week ahead. So next week, they'll be offering a total of 100 billion of bonds at the auction, 20 billion of 2020 bonds, 40 billion of 2026 maturity bonds, and 40 billion of a new 20-year bond, which would mature in 2036. So a total of 100 billion in all. This is slightly higher than what they offered at the last auction, which was a total of 90 billion. Well, considering the excess liquidity in the market and a dearth of investment options, people are still pretty bullish, even though we're going to have more supply next week.
All right, thank you so much, Nnamdi. That'll be all we'll take from you. We do appreciate your time with us. Nnamdi Nwizu is from the FMDQ, and actually the Vice President here at CT, the Head of Fixed Income Trading at Citibank in Nigeria. Now, the consistent lack of power supply in Nigeria has continued to be a source of worry for the citizens. Nigerians have protested against rampant power blackouts. The recent announcement of increased electricity tariffs has led to consumers calling for the provision of a prepaid meters to protect themselves from 40 billion.
Power supply in Nigeria is one of the biggest constraints on investment and growth for Africa's largest economy. Those who can afford it rely on expensive diesel generators. In 2013, Nigeria handed over state-owned distribution firms and 6th-generation companies to private buyers in a bid to boost supply, but the situation remains the same. Some prepaid meters were introduced, but a large part of the population say they are yet to access them.
The meter we are using before is spoiled. They were supposed to give us another one. Last time I saw, they say we should use bill. Last time I saw, that is the only thing. But the tariff about the NEPA bill, if you are using meter, it's more better than bill. Because you know you pay what you use.
Despite holding the world's 7th largest gas reserves, Nigeria produces less than a tenth of the amount of electricity South Africa provides for a population of a third of the size. A recently introduced hike in power tariffs led to a protest march by the Nigerian Labour Congress in the capital city, Abuja.
We think that the increase is not only outrageous, I think it has not been able to convince us that this increase is actually desirable. One, because of the challenge in the economy, but secondly also because most people are still being billed on estimation, which means majority of consumers have not been able to get meters.
A report released last year by power industry experts indicates that there is potential for Nigeria to attract tens of billions of dollars of investment into the power sector, given the huge unmet demand from industry and the public.
And that'll be all on Business Incorporated. Many thanks for staying with us on the program. We do appreciate your time with us. We hope to see you again tomorrow. I am Bolaji Akinwale. Bye for now.